They're down every time down. Okay. Your priest. More. Lord.
Wow.
Who's here? Who's that?
Javier.
Javier. Oh. I think we now got more.
Good afternoon.
Good. All right, we got 8. All right, well, I guess since it's 1 o'clock, let's go ahead and call this meeting to order here real quick. Do we have any public comment cards or cards to fill out? I'm going to assume no, because we normally don't, but nothing. All right, there we go. So recognitions. Do we have any recognitions for this month?
We do not.
No recognitions. Oh, good. All right, so we're going to get into item 3 here real quick. Action items. Review and approve of the previous month's minutes. Has everybody got a chance to take a look over that? So I'll entertain a motion to approve those. Motion to approve previous. Motion by Bob, second by Herschel. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. All right. Bill, you're up.
Is financials through the end of July, so that puts us at 83.3% of the way through the year. The actuals collected for the month of July, revenue-wise, $1,780,908. Our year-to-date revenue collection $772,855. Moving down to the operation expenses, we have had a recurring theme of the wages being over in this category is now over 100%. So we'll be over on those to the end of the year, of course. And so there are some other areas in the budget where that'll balance out bottom line wise. And so one other category to mention here is operation expenses. It's for the workman's comp, which is showing 112% over. That is basically due to some the employee portion of the income that is once a year, so that was expensed recently. So this year, overall, this is very good at 99%. Again, it will balance out the budget. Down in planning and administration, there is a very high overage on year-to-date basis for planning materials and supplies. That's not a huge number. If you look at the dollar, it's about $4,000, but it's showing 368%. The good news is though that the category itself is from threshold. So that's 70. Now again, in expenses, a couple of overages here to point those out. Preliminary maintenance, 401k, workman's comp. The total category is at 88%, 89%. Not too perspective. One of the line items in this category that and I discussed during the finance committee meeting was that comprehensive GL insurance line items. And there was a underage shown for $10,000 income change, and that's related to a reversal And approval, that was the first. Means originally first, back out some dollars there. And the next category is well under, from a bottom line perspective, that's 6.5. Next one, paratransit, right about on target, 81.48%. Supervision of drivers is a little bit higher. I believe that's where we have some supervisors taking on driving. So that should. But bottom line, as a whole budget, under 86.5%. Pretty much right on target. We should be just a couple. Question.
All righty, so with that being presented, is anyone make a motion? Make a motion. The financials, second. A second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Carried unanimously. All right, so review and approval of the budget.
So this is last month, PJ presented to you the draft budget, and so we're just coming back for the second reading and approval this month. We did make a slight tweak to it in that in looking it over, we originally had one extra person in paratransit, an extra driver in paratransit. So if we went ahead and moved that person up to fixed route, so there's adjustment in wages and everything related to that. You see a reduction to paratransit line and increase to fixed route. But bottom line, staying as originally presented. So if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer them. As best I can without the
So just looking at last year, so like our actuals this year are oh, that means 5%. Utility, yeah, so like.
Does that have to do with the building that was been?
We actually have not shut it down yet, but we're anticipating to.
Okay, so that covers the.
Shutting that down, just while we're talking about that, we're shutting that down, does that mean we're not air conditioning it, we're pretty much just not using it, how are we still maintaining that building?
Yeah, we'll still maintain it, make sure it doesn't fall into disrepair, possibly use it if we have training classes and that sort of thing. So we may keep some electric to it.
So I can do that, just put a seal hole and then watch.
Yeah, because actually, when we originally opened the building, we overestimated how much we would need to based it on the, the expenses for the admin building. So we budgeted a little high to be on the safe side. This really, the 2025 stacks that down to where we think it's more reasonable there. Right.
One more question, the iron material supplies, $2,000,000.
So you said materials and supplies.
That's significant now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Did we, more accurate to budget for the full costs this year? We were over budget. Mine just correction.
Here's just one quick question. This is kind of going back that we are in an election cycle this year. The cost could do all kinds of different things. Are we trying to budget with that in mind? Did we budget with that in mind?
For the fuel cost, PJ looks at forecasts that are published for it and uses that as his target. For general materials and supplies, like the PM materials and supplies parts, we have a lot of new vehicles on ground now, so we're not needing as many repair parts and that sort of thing. So we're adjusting that as well, and taking a look at really how much we're spending. Do we think we could reduce some of those?
Side for it.
And actually, well, yeah, we'll see some costs to getting those Dodges up and running and that sort of thing. But we've got 2 more large buses coming, and we're going to be starting to replace some of the older cutaway buses. So we still anticipate savings in for them to maintenance there.
So the few buses, essentially cost of those, could that be possibly on manufactured?
Unfortunately, the Dodges are enough that they're asking.
Everybody had a chance to look it over. Any other questions? Yeah. A second. All right. All those in favor of adopting the 2025 budget, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. All right. Review and approval of safety program update.
So in your packet, you have 3 different safety programs that we are updating. These are all required programs by the FTA. The first one is the drug and alcohol program. And in addition to updating just some of the contact information here, maybe Brian Bridgeford, our direct safety coordinator, as our drug and alcohol program manager. We also added, if you look on pages 5 and 6, highlighted in yellow, to the drug and alcohol program, we're looking at adding a section called lost time injury testing. FTA and FNCSA do not require us to do the post-accident testing on an operator if they injure themselves. That's all I'm saying. And so we're looking at if somebody does have an on-job injury that is going to create lost time for the agency, the person being out, we're looking at having them tested to rule out or alcohol factor. And so that's the first thing that we're adding. No, we haven't run into an issue, but we would like to cover ourselves going forward.
Somebody walking in the shop slips and breaks your ankle.
You know, if you pick yourself up and dust yourself off, you measure with the kit.
Okay.
If you fall and you break an arm, then we're gonna wonder what you were doing.
Then you miss your next shower.
And then on page 6, one of the things we've added to the post-accident testing that has been is an employee, once they're tested, is placed on administrative leave until they the results come back, or they're allowed to return to work, unless in the process of the investigation following the accident, we determine that the operator can be completely ruled out as a contributing factor in the accident. In that case, they can come back to a vote. And so we wanted to add into this document that the time they missed from the board while they were off, even though eventually they were, or because they were eventually determined not to be a factor in the accident, will be paid if they were not at fault. Whereas if someone was a contributing factor in a bus collision, that sort of accident, then there would be unfit with the district. I'll test it for that.
Is that retroactive? So if somebody's in an accident and it's questionable, because we don't pay them, then it's not a direct loss.
Yes. And if not, or the supervisor goes out and deal with them initially, because they, you know what, we're not absolutely sure, so we're gonna go ahead and test you, and then you have to stay home until after the drug test come back, but then they start, the supervisor comes back, they start going for witness statements, they start getting video. They say, you know what, the operator was in the call, you can call the operator.
But they're not allowed to come back and work. They have to go.
If they were.
Typically, what we're saying, the legal office as far as getting back to us. And 4-hour turnaround was 48 or
The alcohol consumption, the drug test usually took a couple days. And so that's everything on the drug and alcohol program. The public transportation agency safety plan. This is another MTA required document. This one, all we've updated is the agency contact information. Replaces Doug's name in the documents to general manager and the town executive with myself, and updates the table that shows the different changes that have been made, or facts changes that have been made to the process.
quick question on this. See Karen, he's writer general manager, and just in the evening, we just put any writer general manager instead of need to have the name on there correctly. Not that I'm just trying to
Yeah, I understand.
keep that from having to be updated every time something changes, kind of thing.
With some of these federal documents, they require a contact name to specifically be.
Is this a routine update that documents already have on file? Because it's like part of the sign.
Well, this one is actually because we had that change in management. Otherwise, it's on a year update cycle, and we're supposed to update it in 1235. So it's
This one says adopt the name from the signature.
yeah, should be come home. So we might see. Oh, yeah, if you look down at the bottom of the page, revision 1, September 19.
I guess you don't update the adopted date, or you don't re-adopt it.
Well, Julie, I don't think you do re-adopt it. It's a brand new one. In 2023, it was a new one, or let's call it a revised by their books. And then a new.
Actually, no, they just, they refer to it as review every 3 years. And then if it's, if we make administrative changes, that's sort of the, like, we'll do it. Then we just carry on with the other rest. We have to go back through the state review process and get it recertified. So that's why it's just the adoption date and then the official date. So,
Nothing's actually changed.
No. Yeah, with the public, yeah.
It's like a policy
Okay.
rather than.
Mhm.
Don't without.
I'm just working in my mind with whether I need to take the card. I mean, we did the arrangement. We did take this forward to have them knowledge and understand the justice. It's just for a sake of a name change. I don't see it work for.
If we were changing the safety goals and that sort of thing, I would say probably so, but because it's just a name change.
Yeah.
I would probably remove this from change.
Yeah.
And that's all there is in there. And then the last one is the emergency evacuation plan. And again, this is just to update the general management plan. Any questions?
Yes.
Yeah. Emergency evacuation plan.
The emergency evacuation plan, and this is an internal document that we use for if we have an emergency that requires us to evacuate a building or something in that nature, either a natural disaster, otherwise. It designates the responsible executive and the response coordinators, which include our safety coordinator, and then Julie Patino, our director of operations, as the leads on that. Just contains things like the evacuation routes and muster points and pertinent emergency numbers that we may need in case of these different fire, hazardous spill, bomb threats, that sort of
That being said, somebody want to make a motion to approve these? Motion? Second. All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. All right. Moving to information items. Reports, Pam, you're up.
All right. We ran 26 service days in July, and our ridership, you probably have heard, was up compared to June and very up compared to July of last year. On-time performance for fixed route in July was 79%, and for paraphrase it was 90%.
Is that construction, we've got that?
Hmm?
Is that construction stuff?
So, I was talking to Julie before the meeting. We anticipate that may even go down a little further this coming month, largely due to the construction along this road.
Saw that one.
Yeah. For riders. We're happy to report that there's a potential fix that has been executed on one of the Dodge vehicles. It went back into service. Was it Thursday afternoon or Friday? Thursday afternoon. And so far it was not, the brakes have not failed in slip screw intersection. So I would ask people for
So
that.
what was the fix, right?
Changing the modules out and charging system this year.
Are we confident?
In 3 days.
Just checking.
The odds in Vegas aren't good.
Robert is confident enough that we are planning to deploy the fix on the other
I
5.
already took 2 of them.
Good to out now.
So if we get those back, will that help us with the Special Olympics?
Yes.
Yeah. Those are thoughts you walk by. Nope. Go ahead.
And on that note, we are working out a plan to provide 2 circulator buses for the special Olympics. We had talked at one point about the potential of borrowing buses and having board members drive those routes. But after some internal discussions here, well, with the Dodgers, that we feel pretty confident that we'll have enough vehicles to do that. And as far as drivers, Julie's going to keep an eye on our staffing level, and we'll try and have enough drivers to do that, whether it's, these supervisors or your safety and training coordinators, for all drivers, simply because of the liability factor. We want to find you guys out there trying to drive and also learning how to strap down wheelchairs and be responsible for that as well.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
If you had to volunteer, go from short, is that a class we take to do that?
It is the, to train someone to strap down a wheelchair in a short time.
That's gonna be different than strapping down again. So,
Little bit. And so, I mean, you want those folks to be secure, but
right.
well, at the same time, we felt, not that we don't trust you guys. And then, in addition, in February, the agency will be hosting a Transportation Safety Institute training class called Safety Management Systems Principles for Transit. Safety Management Systems, or SMS, is a forward approach for managing safety. And it's actually was executed in a public transportation safety plan that we approved today. So this is FTA is one that administers the Transportation Safety Institute. And so this is a class that is opened up to agencies across the nation to potentially see take the class. So looking forward to showing.
What's the date on
It's February. I didn't write down the date somewhere. And that's all I have.
You expect the increase in ridership to continue? It's a high thing.
Yeah, a couple of things that we think went into that. We have our summer pass program, which is a 3-month pass for a significant discount. And so we think that middle month, because it's usually on the office, that program is some increasing ridership there. So as people are traveling, they have for some vacations, things like that. In addition, it's just because we don't expect that kind of ridership increase. You see, we anticipate a little bit of a slump going to like the start of the school year, sort of thing. We usually see a little bump in October. See if that will back and see.
Question for you. I saw this in July. Saw this in June. This result, I think we may have been with some pass. We thought about doing something like a November, December, January type of thing called a winter pass. That see here in our, those are typically, those are not huge months.
You're right, they're talking huge months with the holidays. We've had fewer service days and the weather, they will see decrease in ridership during that time. So we can talk about doing winter months of that nature. Keep in mind that the summer pass, it's 3 months for jobs. Before the summer pass is 37. So it's a significant decrease. Sure. Yes, you'd be interested in.
We get ridership numbers up further though, that helps.
We would have to see. Increase in the social would be to impact the funding in the group.
The most ought to already start tracking, but probably won't track what people using the at this point.
We when someone boards the bus, the operator punches a button to say what kind of fare it was. We just went ahead and added the veteran to an existing discount bus that it coincided with this. Depend on, do you remember if we have a free button that we could add it to? Because we're constrained by the number of buttons.
Right.
Maybe, and I think that's why we decided to do it. And add it.
It's not.
You can probably get rough ideas, take a look at what we normally get on the again, and get those big movements. Where we would just.
That's not 5%. That's what
And Julie and our mobility coordinator, Melissa, they actually went to a veterans program last week or the week before. That is happening in the area, so sort of interface with that population, make sure we're getting the word out, talk the word out, fixed job service, and so if anybody needs the service.
Are the Special Olympics being held up all over from city to?
Yeah, they've got 2 or 3 locations and 7 communities.
All right. You have anything for exec session or? No, didn't think so. All right, so that moves us on into other business. Anybody have any request features in items? All right, well, that being said, you sure we want to hear?
Just believe I'm out of town.
Okay.
No, you.
Okay, what, do you think we're gonna have?
Normally what we've done when that's happened before is we can move. We're not due for a week before Thanksgiving. And then
We're not gonna have it in December.
we need to have it for sure.
Move a week early.
That's the way in business. Yeah.
It's probably the 20th.
Well, I don't know, I think that's gotta be on the agenda. We can talk about it, but let's look for future design, discuss it.
Okay.
Everybody check your schedules. And forget to be. No. All right. This is, might want to make a motion to adjourn. That motion, got a second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We're good. You're adjourned.
I would have been there.
I'm waiting for that.
I did that one. Yes.
No.
Yeah. Just,